Hello and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Randacia, or Randy for short. And in today's video, we are going to be closing out the last budget of 2020 and setting up the first budget of 2021. So let's jump right into it. This is December. My budget for paycheck number 2 went from December 18th through December 31st. Don't you love a good budget that starts on the 1st or ends on the last day of the month? I actually love that. The little perfectionist in me and completionist in me just loves that. So anyways, so our total income was $2,618.06. We're budgeting on $2,550. So the difference, what we paid ourselves first is $118.06. And then rollover, we did not roll over any money from paycheck number 1 to paycheck number 2. So we're just going to dash that out. So moving along over here, our pay yourself first was $118.06. So our total income that we were able to set aside first thing when we got paid was $118.06. So to go on to the expenses, we did stay on budget for the most part. So I'm just going to, where's my calculator? Go ahead and just go through everything. So gas and groceries was on budget. So Edison, which is our electricity bill, was $12.79. So we did have $7.21 left over. Sapphire is just a visual reminder to pay our credit card. MetLife, that actually went up because our policy renews in December, and I'll go into that in just a second when I get over to the unbudgeted, because it did go up more than I was expecting. So let's see, water and trash, we were under budget. 125 minus 114 is 555. And for anyone that's new, the reason why I have this little squiggly here is because we did budget $253 for our car insurance, and we actually used $253, but instead of a dash, it gets a squiggly. Oh, and for, wait, was it groceries? I don't know why I put a squiggly for groceries. Should have been a dash. The squiggly just lets me know that there's more to the story, that I was not actually on budget. You have to just look over here to the unbudgeted for the full story. So that is what that squiggly means for me. You can do anything else, like any other signifier, to like let you know what's up in your budget, but I just like the simplicity of the squiggly line. So Verizon, we did budget 125 and it was 121.14. So we were under budget by $3.86. Childcare was $530. ID theft, was on budget. We did roll over $1,000 from this budget to next month's budget, just to start getting ahead 1 month, which is one of our 2021 goals. So we did roll over that amount of money in order to pay for our January mortgage. And then right here, medical, since I do have some unbudgeted items, I am going to add these up and then put that total right here to let me know of this $54.14 that was left over after all of our expenses that is supposed to go into our medical sinking fund. I did have to use some of that money for some unbudgeted expenses. So if you're new, typically people put like miscellaneous right there for any money that's left over, but I like to be a little bit more intentional. Hey, that 2021 word coming out, a little bit more intentional with how I name the things that, or name the items or the categories in my budget. So MetLife, we budgeted $253. Oh, let me zoom you guys in. I keep forgetting. Okay. So we did set aside $253, but our policy went up to $281. So that was $28 that we did not account for and therefore is unbudgeted. And then we did buy a movie that we weren't planning on getting. We bought Sing, which is the cutest little movie, and Tori Kelly goes off. She's the girl elephant that sings in the end. I love Tori Kelly's voice. I just love everybody that sung in that movie, and it's just like one of my favorite like animated movies right now. But yeah, so we bought that and that was $8.99. It was actually $9.99, but we still had $1 in our family fund digital cash envelope. So that just knocked it down to $8.99. That needed to come out of this budget. So let me go ahead and add these two things up, which will be the total amount of money that that we spent on unbudgeted items, which is $36.99. I really need to get something to like let me see if I'm still in frame, because when I zoom in, I can't really see unless I get up like I just did to see if I'm still in frame when I move my planner around, because I need to write sideways. So it's actually pretty difficult. Anyways, you guys didn't ask for all of that information. So I'm going to write this total right here just to say that of this $54.14 that we had left over from this budget, I had to use $36.99 of it in order to cover these unbudgeted expenses. So what is that? What do we have left over total after all of our expenses? So we still had $17.15 left over out of the money that was left over in our overall budget, out of this $25.50 that we originally budgeted. So I hope that made sense. But for right now, I am going to add up all of the actual expenses so I can get the expense total right here. Okay, so that total is, why is that more? Oh, it is not, I'm tripping. Okay, so that total is 2,511.33. So if I go across here, it should equal what this column totals. So let me go across here. So this column should equal 3867. The variance column, let's add it up to make sure that it is this 3867 and that my math is correct. All right, so it is at 3867, which means I did my math right. So let's go ahead and add up this pay yourself first and what we have left over from our expenses. All right, so our savings total is $156.73. So that is our total that we were able to put into our sinking funds for this pay period. Go ahead and highlight that. All right, so I am completely done with my Erin Condren monthly planner. That is so crazy. So I'm gonna take these pages out off camera and put them in my Erin Condren monthly, like with all the rest of the pages that I finished. I'm like so grateful for this planner. Like it really allowed me to find my my budget planner style by just being a blank slate and already giving me the monthly calendar and then a little space to like make notes or whatever. Like I really enjoyed this planner. I'm kind of sad to be leaving it, but I mean, you know, new year, new planner. So let's go ahead and move over to our new 2021 planner, which is the Happy Planner budget planner that just came out. There are quite a few things that have changed since I made my January budget. So at this point, well, except for the bills that are put on here, because I do put all of my sinking funds and things like that on my monthly calendar. But except for like my bills, for the most part, this calendar is now just reference. And then this budget that I made for my January 2021 budget is now referenced because so many things have changed that, yeah. So let me just tell you really quick, like a overview of what changed. So for one, our car insurance did go up. So I'm trying to flip to my notes from December for January. So our Walmart grocery delivery was coming due in January, but our budget is tight and we decided to not renew right now and just go with actually, I'm not gonna lie. I went to the grocery store recently and I actually thoroughly miss going to the grocery store. So I am kind of like gonna miss Walmart grocery delivery, but I'm not gonna have to punch somebody for giving me freaking iceberg lettuce instead of romaine lettuce. It's like, dude, I'm gonna need y'all teenagers in this dang on Walmart grocery delivery to get it right. Anyways, sorry, I went off on a tangent, but I am going to go to the grocery store in person again. I missed it so much. So I'm kind of like, sorry, not sorry to be losing the Walmart grocery delivery. Once things get like hectic or whatever, and we feel like we need it, then we'll probably place the ad hoc like delivery order. But for the most part, again, I'll be going back to the grocery store. Okay, and then my husband does have a PC, and his what is it? The security on it is due or was due for January. But again, our budget was like hella tight. So all these annual expenses that we're renewing for January, we just made the decision to not renew them for the time being. And, if we have some extra money in the future, then we'll go ahead and renew it if we feel that we need it. But for right now, these were like annual expenses that were due in January that we're just not going to renew. Again, our car insurance went up to $281. Our health insurance does start on January 1st, and it's like a deduction before he gets paid. So I don't exactly know how much how much his checks are going to be. So, yeah. So we do have to, I already had that to like look out for in January, but also to our child care center that we take our son to is also increasing their tuition by $15 per week. So that's an extra $60 to add to like our expenses for childcare. So as if childcare wasn't already high enough, it's like damn near a mortgage or at least 2 or 3 car payments. And it's just like, dude. But anyways, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But also, too, the big thing that I had to make up for was that my husband came to me like yesterday and told me that he needed to pay for some certifications that he needed to renew. So I had to basically figure out where that money was going to come from in our budget. And I'll walk through like some of the changes that I made in order to accommodate his last minute recertifications, which I'll tell you it is $370. So he came to me and was like, babe, we need $370. Like, this is all I'm hearing is we need $370 in January. And I'm looking like, that's nice, but where the money gonna come from? But anyways, long story short, I basically got rid of all of our sinking funds and our fund money in order to redirect that money to allow him to go and get recertified so he can keep his job. So let's just go down through the actual expenses. So pay yourself first. We never know what that's going to be until we get paid, but we are still budgeting on this $25.50 that we've been budgeting on. And again, I am expecting that to be lower on top of all the other things that we're doing with our budget. So it just is what it is. You gotta roll with the punches. So when I know how much his checks are going to be, then I'll go ahead and adjust it if it's not too late. But for the most part, this budget may be over budget when I come back to you guys in 2 weeks to give you like the results and close out this paycheck budget. So yeah, for rollover, we are rolling over $1,000 $23.28 from December into January so that it will help with our mortgage. So I'm not rolling over the full mortgage amount that we're saving because I do need to use a portion of that in our paycheck number 2. So I only rolled over a good chunk of it, but not all of it in order to help with this paycheck. So our income total is going to be $3,573.28. So, oh shoot, I'm over here. This is not supposed to be on this side. I'm supposed to be doing it on this side. Jeez Louise. Let me flip this. I am just all over the place. This is my estimated and budgeted column, and then this is my actual. Because I just looked at it, I'm like, why don't I have another space for actual? Because you're supposed to be writing on this side, Randy. So let me rewrite this really quick. All right, so for our mortgage, it is $1,859.45. I am starting to think about this mortgage because I think in April, if I'm not mistaken, is when our escrow analysis is due. So if the taxes go up in our area, then our mortgage will increase and the bank will either allow us to pay that increase in taxes through our monthly mortgage, or to keep our mortgage from increasing, they will give us the option to pay that mortgage, that property tax increase in a lump sum. So I'm hoping that our property taxes either stays the same or decreases again, but we'll see. But that is something in the back of my mind that I'm thinking about for like the beginning half of 2021. So Vivint is our home security, and that's $56.47. In order to accommodate my husband's recertifications, I did decrease gas to $70. It's down $40 from $110, which is what I usually put, but I mean, you got to do what you got to do. And also my husband is home. He's not commuting as much, and that's more than enough gas for me for 2 weeks. So yeah, and plus we do have a buffer in our gas account of like $100 or so. So if we do end up going over in gas this paycheck and even next paycheck, then we can just tap into that buffer that we have in our gas digital cash envelope. So I'm not really too much worried about decreasing that down so much. Groceries, we are keeping at $250. We do have a daycare fee on top of it. Just add insult to injury. Jesus. On top of them increasing our monthly tuition, and I'm talking about the daycare, my son's daycare center here. On top of increasing the tuition by $60 every month, they do require a annual fee for materials, which I understand, but it's just like, geez, give me a break. Oh, I need to rewrite this over here. But we do love his daycare though, which is why I'm like grinning and bearing it, because I'm just like, that's what I want to tell him. But they do such a great job. Like, he barely comes home with like boo-boos, because he is a boy and he's very rambunctious. So the scrape of the knees and the elbows, we don't really pay too much attention to, like if it's not serious. But he knows his ABCs already in order, and he knows his colors in Spanish and English, and he knows his numbers up to like, I want to say 12. No. He knows his numbers, I want to say up to 12 in English, and then he knows his numbers in order up to 10 in Spanish. So I'm like, yes, can we get that bilingual from birth? Okay. Because it is a goal of mine to learn Spanish, but I mean, that's been my goal for like the past decade. But I mean, I think it's a good goal to have, being that I'm in Southern California. But Yeah, but I think it's kind of rude to like practice with my coworkers, even though they say it's okay. But it's just like when we're working and we're trying to get stuff done, ain't nobody got time for you to be practicing no Spanish, sis. Just say it in English. So, anyways, that's why I really haven't learned it too much. And plus, I don't really have any Spanish speaking friends. I would love, like in my everyday life, I should say, in my everyday life, I don't. So, yeah, I don't really know Spanish like I want to. I know some words, you know. But anyways, Adobe Cloud is $19.99. I use that for YouTube. Natural gas is $20. iCloud is $9.99. Hulu is $11.99. My husband, no, this is my life insurance is $57.64. Costco credit card is just a visual reminder. Disney Plus, um, I did decide to keep Disney Plus because I was thinking about canceling it because, yeah, my son is not watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse or really anything Disney. So that's why I was thinking about turning it off. But I did forget that it is part of that Disney Plus like bundle where you get Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN. So for some reason, my husband didn't know that we had that bundle, like a miscommunication, I guess. But I reminded him that we did have it, and I suspect that he's gonna want to watch some ESPN. So we're gonna ultimately keep it. Um, and yeah, did you guys, first of all, did any of you watch Jingle Jangle? Because I feel like all I was hearing about was Christmas Chronicles 2, which is a good movie, but I thought the first one was better. I might be the only one in that opinion, but it's okay. I'll just, I'll stand out in the cold and, stand with my opinion. But either way, did any of you watch Jingle Jangle? That was such the cutest movie. That right there, I was loving. But the only thing about that movie is that I have been like very critical about the male figures and like especially little boys that I'm seeing in these movies just because I want a good example for my son and I just didn't appreciate how they made the little boy like a little scaredy cat and yeah. So I'm like, why did you have to make him a scary cat? Why couldn't you just have two strong little black children as the roles? Like he could still be the supporting um actor because the little girl was like the main, the story was mainly focused on her, but the little boy could have been still a strong support character. Why did he have to be a scaredy cat? Like I'm watching my words because he's a little boy, but y'all know what I want to call him, but I'm not gonna use that language with, a child. But it's just like, dude, I don't want that for my son. Like I want strong male characters and even little boy characters. Like you ain't gotta be no little punk. So, anyways, all that to say, I love Jingle Jangle. Um, and yeah, but what I wanted to talk about was Soul. Did you guys watch Soul on Disney Plus? If you have it, I was actually disappointed. Um, Jamie Foxx was the voice of the main character, and I don't know. I don't know whether like the whole theme of the movie just went over my head, but I was disappointed. Like one, I expected Jamie Foxx to sing. Like I understand that he was like a jazz teacher, but I expected him to sing something. I mean, this is Jamie Foxx we're talking about. But I digress. I was just disappointed. Like it was cute, but that's not going into the Disney holiday collection. I'm sorry, no. But yeah, tell me what you guys thought about any of those movies, or if you have any suggestions for Netflix and stuff like that. Leave it down in the comments and I will check them out. But let me know what you guys thought about those movies. But moving on, so childcare. Let me make sure my number is right because I don't know if I updated it. So it's going up to $280 a week for childcare. So times 4, that is, oh wait, no, I need to do times 2. So divide that by 2, it's $560. Amazon CC is just a visual reminder to pay our Amazon card. Frontier is our home internet, and that is $54.76. Nailnet is, I was like, Nailnet, what the heck is that? Nailnet is my student loan provider, or what do you call them? I don't know. I'm just gonna go with provider right now. But Nailnet, my student loans is 112.01. My student loans is down to like $2,000, and I'm kind of toying with the idea because there's two of them. One of them is like school loan A is like $300, and then school loan C is like $1,700. So I'm thinking about paying off for sure the school loan A, that's around like $300 or so, and then just maybe just working on school loan C throughout 2021, or just paying off my student loans and just concentrating on my husband's student loans. So that is something I'm thinking about as well, but I'll let you guys know. I do plan on making like a student loan video in the month of January, sometime mid-January. So stay tuned for the channel for that. But yeah, I'm gonna go more into it later. But Netflix is $13.99. So let me go ahead and add up all of these expenses to see what our budgeted total is. So our total is $3,573.27, which it is a penny off from our income. But you know what I'm going to do, I'm just going to adjust the income up here and push that penny over to paycheck number 2 so that it is a true zero-based budget. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if it feels right, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.